Hi, welcome to another amazing training video by V Studios. Allow me to introduce myself. As you know, my name is Padman Sinatiraja. I'm a V partner and the managing director of the V. Now, the past few months, I've been traveling around the world and meeting up with various networks in different countries around the world. And I'm observing one thing. You guys have built a fantastic network out there for the V, all right, over the past 10 years of QuestNet. But I've been observing that every group I meet, they have a clear amount of passion. All right, they're very loud, very excited. I just came back from Central Asia, places like Tajikistan, where people are fairly new in our company and they're excited, jumping up and down. But today I want to talk to you about one thing, which passion alone and excitement alone is not enough, all right, for you to achieve this vision, this dream of every networker called financial freedom. Now, when I started in 1998 networking, all right, as a downline to the most amazing upline on the planet, Dato Vijay Ishwaran, right, I remembered today how he built me as a networker, what he did with me, how he guided me, all right, how he held my hand along this journey for me basically to reach the point of financial freedom I am in today. Now, when I look back on how he built me, I realized that many of the leaders today, many of the networkers today around the world are not doing what I was exposed to, what I used to do. So I want to go back to the basics. I want to teach you how to network. I want to teach you how to get your checks up. I want to teach you how to keep your downlines motivated. I want you to build a long, sustainable network for years to come. Now, over the past 10 years, I realized that this industry has evolved, right? QuestNet has evolved, the V has evolved, but the methods, trainings, and teachings of our industry, right, is very simple, very fundamental, and is not required to evolve and change to a point where every day the training has to be different. Now, today's module, what I'm going to be talking to you for the next 45 minutes, all right, because I know your attention span, wherever you're sitting right now in the world, if it's more than 45 minutes, high possibility you're not human, okay? All right, so focus on this good-looking Malaysian standing here, all right, and listen to every word I have to say. Empty your cup. And most importantly, after watching this video by V Studios, apply what you have learned. Now, if you look at every network marketing company out there in the world, the majority of companies around the world work on a monthly basis. Okay? That means it's a 30-day turnaround. Alright? So every 30 days, volume is calculated, commissions are paid. Now, when Dato Vijay and Japa Bismarck launched QuestNet in 1998, when they founded this concept, they realized that 30 days to see results, right, is too long. Not motivating enough. Not enough inspiration. People on the 15th day, on the 20th day switch off. Alright, but they say, hey, I haven't seen any money. I don't know what's happening in my network. I have to wait for 30 days before I see exactly what I'm going to get from the results of my work. So what they decided, which is the biggest strength of QuestNet, which people stop talking about today, is that QuestNet, alright, pays you, calculates your commission, all right, on a weekly basis, every 7 days. 7 days. Now think about this concept, okay? It's 7 days. 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours. Now if you live that 7 days properly, systematically, passionately, with a strong sense of urgency, I welcome you to a fantastic future of financial freedom. Right? So a lot of people, when they look at network marketing, they don't understand the 7-day concept. Okay, so if you look at QuestNet today, it's Saturday to Friday. Friday is the cutoff, your commissions are calculated, your downlines are calculated, all right, and that's your result. So if you look at a 7-day period where you want to produce a specific result, where you want to achieve something, all right, in QuestNet, that means every day counts. Every day counts. Every day matters. Every 24 hours can make a drastic difference to the potential outcome of the 7 days. So I observe a lot of networkers who go through these 7 days. Very excited, very passionate, all right, totally switched on, nothing wrong with that. You see them on the streets, they're shouting, I love QuestNet, I'm going to be financially free, all right? But if you ask them, what are you planning to achieve at the end of 7 days? Total silence. They don't know. So my question to you, watching this video right now, do you know what you're going to achieve in that 7-day period? Do you have a crystal clear picture of what you're going to achieve in 7 days? Don't tell me what your goals and dreams are, right? Because your dreams is 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, big dreams, okay? No problem, all right? That's what I want you to have somewhere at the back of your mind. When I started QuestNet, I had big dreams. I sat down with my mentor in upline, Dato Vijay, and I shared with him all my big dreams. Dato, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to have a house, I'm going to have this car, I'm going to buy this watch, right? I'm going to marry Shakira, right? I had tons of dreams which I shared with him, okay? But he simply listened to me with a big smile, all right? Loved watching me talk about my big dreams. And then he came back to the fundamental question. He said, Padman, what's going to happen the next 7 days? Padman, what's your plans the next 7 days? Padman, what's your goals the next 7 days? Padman, how many people in your group are going to achieve a check the next 7 days? How many plans or presentations are going to happen in your organization the next 7 days? How many trainings happening the next 7 days? Let's talk about this week. It's great that all of you have these dreams written down somewhere in your heart, in your mind. I respect that. Basic building block number 1, the most crucial, fundamental, dreams. But today, I want to talk about 7 days. I may even call this video 7 days. I don't know. All right? But the point is, many networkers, if they go along too long without a specific goal, if they go through a journey too long without a target, all right, without a crystal clear destination, along the way, they get lost. They just get lost. They come for trainings, right? They SMS you, okay? They watch the DVDs. They have amazing product knowledge. They do everything accordingly, but no results. Then after 2 years, they come and sit on your table and complain, saying, Mr. Padman, I don't understand. I joined this business now, I'm not making money. What's wrong? Blah, blah. They start to blame everything else. Now, if you are sitting there right now and you do not know what your target, your goal is for the next 7 days, then I guarantee you all your downlines don't know what their goals and their targets are for the next 7 days. So it becomes a major breakdown. Do you understand? That means if the upline doesn't have a clear picture, all right, he doesn't know anything, then all the downlines on the left and right don't have goals. Now, is there a lot of activity? Yes, a lot of things happening. Do some people achieve results? Yes. But when you look down on it, the results are very weak. Why? Because a human being by nature, mentally speaking, all right, a human being by nature cannot do anything properly unless there is a clear target to achieve. Right? Take some of the greatest people on the planet. Even Barack Obama, okay, he went into the presidential election of the United States, right, to become the president. Right? He didn't do it for the fun of it. He didn't do it because he enjoyed going up on stage and talking to thousands of people. So every great achievement had a crystal clear destination, your goal. Now, your dreams of 3 to 5 years is brilliant. But how do you achieve that, guys, is by simply having a systematic, periodic goal of 7 days. So what is your 5-year goal? A combination of achieving many 7-day goals. Right? So today I'm going to talk to you about how you systematically manage your 7 days. How systematically do you manage the outcome of your 7 days? How do you evaluate, analyze yourself at the end of 7 days to gauge or judge whether you have achieved your goals, whether you did enough to achieve your goals? So simply take an example, okay? This is you. These are your downlines. Right? So you firstly have to have your 7-day goals. Alright? Now the 7-day goal is a mixture of quantifiable targets. Alright? Very quantifiable, like your check, number of sign-ups, stuff like that, okay? So the first thing you have to do in 7 days is the number of presentations. How many number of presentations are you supposed to do in 7 days? Now I hope all of you watching this video have already watched the Rule 3 video. Now Rule 3 is a fundamental part of networking. If you don't know anything about Rule 3, please go ask your upline and tell him, moron, why haven't you taught me about Rule 3? Patman keeps talking about Rule 3 all the time. Now Rule 3 simply means that to become a networker, the basic requirement is 15 presentations a month. If you are doing less than 15 presentations and watching this video, let me be extremely honest with you. And I'm saying this because I care. You're not a networker. You're not taking the QuestNet business seriously now. 15 presentations minimum a month. Alright? Okay? Now if you take 15 presentations a month, that means you're looking at an average of 4 presentations a week. So now this is easily quantifiable. Alright? Very easy to measure. So the first thing I'll ask you is, hey, this week your goal is to do 4 presentations. I don't care how, who, when. You must complete this task. Now this clearly becomes an achievable goal. It becomes something you can evaluate. It becomes something you can analyze. Alright? Simple. 4 presentations a week. Alright? Number 2. This is a bit unpredictable. You may say out of your control, but I believe it's 100% in your control. How many sign-ups are you going to get in your organization these 7 days? 7 days. Alright? These 7 days, how many sign-ups are you going to get in the organization? Now, if you have 200,000 people here and 100,000 people here, which means you're already financially free, and you can easily monitor how many sign-ups. But if you have 25 people here and 30 people here, can you answer this question? How many sign-ups are you going to get in your organization? This is you. Your left, your right, total sign-ups, including your personal sign-ups. Alright? How many are you going to get in that week? Now this is very important. Dato Vijay, when I started networking, constantly asked me this question. Patman, how many sign-ups in your organization next week? How many sign-ups this week? What's your target next week? What's your goal next week? What's your goal next week? Constantly putting pressure on me to think. A lot of people, sad to say, network marketing, have a tracking center, have left and right, and every week they wait for their check or their Quest account, or their virtual office to tell them how many sign-ups and what is their commission. A true networker will never need to check his virtual office to know how much money he made. A true networker will already have clear goals set in his whole organization of every key leader and networker, alright? And he will know how many UV or how many sign-ups he's going to get that week. So I'm asking you a question. If you have 40, 50, 100, 200, 1,000 downlines in your organization, how many sign-ups are you going to get next week? What's your target? Or are you hoping for the best? Because many people in 7 days just hope. Guys, QuestNet network marketing is not a hope business. It's a serious business. That means you must have a crystal clear, identifiable goal every 7 days. Every 7 days. So first one, how many presentations? That's for you, yourself. How many sign-ups in your organization? That's a total. Alright? Okay? Your next one will be, alright, how many people are attending trainings? Another quantifiable question. Because every week there is some kind of training happening somewhere in the world. It could be in your home, it could be in the office, at a VTC. It could be in a hotel, wherever you are in the world. There is trainings happening every week. So my question is, all right, how many people attend trainings? Because you want to know a true gauge of a powerful networker. Observe in a training how many of his downlines come. So I have met networkers, right, who come and tell me, Mr. Patman, I'm a big leader. My check is 2,000 US dollars. Then he attends my training. And I ask him, oh, how many people did you bring? 2. Where's everyone? I don't know. They don't listen to me. They won't come if I ask. You understand? That means your check may be 2,000 US dollars practically by accident, but you have no influence over your network. So what is networking truly about? It's about influence. That's why this is a very, very crystal clear goal for me. So when I used to have weekly trainings in a hotel or in my house, Dato will ask me every week, Patman, how many people are coming for training? Why is this goal important? Because if you have a training tomorrow, let's say you have 2,000 people in your network, and you have a training tomorrow and 20 people come. What does that signify? It signifies you have a weak network. You have no influence. They don't respect you as a leader. You have no leaders there to influence others to come. So what's the use of having 2,000 people in your downlines? That means you are basically recruiting people, but they are not plugged into your system. So here's the question. Training, how many people? So my upline, once again, the most amazing upline on the planet, Dato Vijay Ishwan, used to ask me this question and I was confused. I said, what does how many people come for training have to do with me as a networker? And Dato said, Patman, listen very carefully. If you have 200 people coming for training every week, you know you have 200 people plugged into your system. You know your message is reaching 200 people. You know there are 200 people potentially very loyal to you. You have 200 network builders. Everyone sitting at home shaking legs, all right, singing Kumbaya and watching TV are not your true networkers. Right? How many people attend training? How many people show their face? That is a true test of whether you are a powerful networker or not. So I know people whose check may be $2,000, all right, a week, but they can bring 1,000 people to a training. I know people whose check is 4,000 a week, they bring 2 people to training. Who is more important to me? This guy. Even though his check is smaller, maybe because one leg is much bigger than the other one, but look at his influence. That means if I want to communicate a message to the network, I tell him 1,000 people know. I tell this moron 2 people know. That means you're not a networker. You're not a serious networker. You're not an international standard networker. You're not a networker by my standards. So when Dato Vijay taught me about these weekly goals, he made it clear to me, Patman, it must cover every aspect. First, why is presentation important for you, your personal goal? Because monkey see, monkey do. If you are not showing 4 presentations a week and complying with the most amazing concept of networking called Rule 3, that means guaranteed your downlines are not doing it. Because monkey see, monkey do. If I'm not doing 4 presentations a week, my downlines are not doing 4 presentations a week, and it slowly starts to collapse. And eventually, no one does any presentations. Now, why is sign-ups important? Right? Because sign-ups indicate the activity level and the results. So I know if I get 40 sign-ups this week, I already know what is the activity in my left and right. I can predict what's going to happen. Right? A lot of people say, oh, Patman, I was so shocked to get a check. I don't even know what happens. I got a big check. Unbelievable. Actually, no. That means you're a moron. That means you have no control over your network. You have no knowledge over your network. You cannot predict. I used to predict my check every week without fail. I knew exactly what my check was going to be next week because I was involved in my network. I know everyone's personal goals for 7 days. So every 7 days, I had a crystal clear picture on what's happening in my downline. In Malaysia, right, in the UK, in Sri Lanka, in Papua New Guinea, wherever around the world, I knew what was happening. because I was in touch with all my leaders, right? I had 7-day goals for all my leaders, weekly targets and goals for all my leaders. I followed up with them. I made sure they achieve it. All right? At the end of 7 days, I reviewed their goals to see whether they achieved it or not. All right? I did even more drastic things. I did, how many DVDs do you watch a week? And I'm not saying this because I love V Studios. I'm saying this because DVDs is a very effective way to keep your network switched on. All right? But why do you have to watch a DVD? Because when you sit at home alone, all right, staring at the ceiling singing Kumbaya on Wednesday, which is the middle of the week, what if you switch off? That means Thursday, Friday is 2 wasted days. Now, if you are a serious networker, every day matters. So if you take all these goals and targets, all right, and you plug it into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 2 previous days, your days are very, very full of activity. Your motivation level is very high because you can't switch off if you're constantly in touch with everyone. And most amazingly, you get amazing results. So what's my message? Every 7 days, from Saturday to Friday, there must be a crystal clear target, goal, for you, for your downlines, for your leaders, for everyone to achieve, to comply. All right? That target and goal becomes very, very, very important. Okay? So what I do is every Saturday, I will take time, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, to meet my key leaders and sit down with them and do what? Long distance, call, SMS, email. In your own locality, meet face to face. Business over coffee, we call it, okay? All right? So basically, you do this. I meet all of them and I check on their targets on the previous Saturday, 7 days ago. So 7 days ago, they gave me their targets and goals. All right? On this Saturday, I review what they told me last Saturday to make sure they achieved it. If they achieved it, good. If they don't achieve it, I review why. I analyze, I ask them, what happened? Why? Did you get switched off? Did you get distracted? What happened? You promised to get this many sign-ups. You promised to get that many people attending training. You promised that this many DVDs are going to be watched by your downlines. You promised that you're going to do 4 presentations. What happened? You didn't achieve your target. You didn't achieve your goal. Now, if I have trespassed with them, I'll ask them why. Because if I don't question you every 7 days, you switch off. If I don't question you every 7 days and review your goals for the past 7 days, you get lost in the world of confusion. And after 5 years, you come and sit in front of me and cry and say, Patman, I have not achieved my goals. I can't achieve my dreams. This business didn't work. Right? Don't be a moron. If you achieve every 7 days your target, alright guys, you basically will definitely achieve your dreams. Right? So every 7 days I sit down, I review all the goals, right? And then I set new goals for the next 7 days. And they will duplicate this with their downlines. So every layer of networkers in my group, everyone is duplicating the same thing. So what happens at the end of the week? I know exactly whether everyone has achieved their goals and targets just by talking to my key leaders. As long as duplication works effectively, you can monitor this. Now, I used to go to Dato Vijay, for example. All right, I used to show him my check. All right, so I used to go to Dato Vijay like a school student. Okay, so I'll take my check and my genealogy report. Now you have it online. Those days we used to print it. Okay, and I'll show him. And he said, okay, your check is 4,000 US dollars. Because when I started networking, the plan was 5,400. Now they made it better, 3,250. Unbelievable, okay? So what I did was I sat down with Dato and said, Dato, my check is 4,000 US dollars this week. Right? Then he'll ask me, Patman, what's your check next week? He never failed to ask this question. How many of you are asking this question of your downlines? How many of your uplines are asking you this question? So he asked me, Patman, what's your check next week? Simple fundamental question, right? And I'll give him an answer. I'll tell him, Dato, my check next week is 4,008. Example, 2 extra steps. And I thought I can go home and sing Kumbaya. No. My upline would stop me and say, okay, show me how. Show me how you're going to get 4,008. So it's easy to say things, you know, right? It's easy to say that, hey, 4,000 this week, next week 4,008. Or now there's 750 this week, next week 1,005. That's a good goal. I'm not saying that's a stupid goal. That's a good goal. That's a good target for 7 days growth. But the question is, how? Where? Left? Right? This guy? This guy? Is this guy going to grow? Or are you hoping that the UVs are going to fall from the sky? No, it has to be strategic. So if you want to go from 750 a week to 1,500 a week, you must have an additional 9% here. I mean sign-ups coming in or UV coming in, correct? How? Where is this extra 9 going to come every week? From this guy, is there a new group? Is this guy, has he started Rule 3? This guy, does he have? You must have a systematic approach to predict this. You cannot just say from 750 to 1,500 and hope it's going to happen. Because this business is not about hoping things are going to happen. This business is about making things happen. Alright? Because simple fact, alright? Every traditional business in the world, from Microsoft to the local restaurant in where you live in your town, works on the concept of targets and goals. Some of them work on monthly targets, some of them work on weekly targets, some of them work on daily targets. But my message to you is, right, in our business, every 7 days, there has to be a goal. Right? Every 7 days, there must be a target. Every 7 days, you have to monitor. Right? Every end of 7 days, you have to review. What are the targets of your leaders? Have they achieved it? Has she achieved it? Has he achieved it? Why not? What happened? Why didn't he achieve it? Where is the breakdown? You can't just sit there as a big upline and say, all of you bring me more money. Please, wake up and smell the coffee, guys. This is a serious, systematic business. This business requires a lot of monitoring, a lot of planning, a lot of strategy. Right? And what Dato taught me was 7 days count. Every 7 days matters. Right? That 1 week becomes the most important week of your life. And the next week becomes the most important week of your life. And the next week becomes the most important week in life. That means from Saturday to Friday, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what you want to achieve. How many presentations? How many sign-ups? What's your check going to be this week? How many people attending training? How many people watching DVDs? Right? How many people sitting in your one-on-one meetings? How many downlines are you going to counsel this week? And the same way, your leaders have to go downline and implement the same thing. Alright? So my message to you is very simple. Alright? Let's talk about the big dreams. I'm a dreamer. I believe in the power of dreams. So if you have big dreams which you want to achieve in the next 3, 5, 7 years, unbelievable. Alright? I'm your biggest supporter. But in order to achieve that big dreams at the end of 3, 5 or 7 years, first start by achieving your weekly targets. Start by achieving your goals every 7 days. Start by achieving simple, systematic goals. How many presentations you are going to do, how many sign-ups you're going to get, what is your check next week, all right? And how are you going to achieve it? How many people attending training? How many people watching your DVDs? How many people did you send SMS to? Simple target, but still important, right? Because communication is the key in sustaining your network. But you communicate based on emotional needs. Oh, sales are low in my group. There's not much UV coming. I need to communicate more. That's a wrong reason. Communication with your downline should be consistent, based on weekly achievable targets. Alright? Now wherever you are sitting here watching this video, even if you're 2 days old in QuestNet, or even you're 2 years old in QuestNet, use this method. Use the method of every 7 days count. Use the method that every 7 days matter. Alright? Focus on a simple 7-day target. But make sure you achieve it. And if you don't achieve it, don't say, I didn't achieve it, let me try next week. No, sit down with your upline, counsel upline, understand why didn't you achieve it. Were you too lazy? You didn't know how to monitor? You didn't know how to push? You didn't have enough trespass? Right? You must review why you didn't achieve targets. The biggest mistake people make in network marketing, they don't achieve a 7-day target and they say it's okay. It's not okay. If you were my downline and I'm your direct upline, you don't achieve your target, I will sit down and talk to you. I will hammer you and push you to make sure next week you achieve it. Because a man or woman who doesn't achieve their goals continuously, after a while give up. And they just sail along in networking without a destination. So imagine if you're sitting in a boat in the middle of the ocean with no destination, what happens? You keep floating around until you drop dead, run out of water, run out of food. So networking, don't float around. Have a destination. Start with every 7 days. Right? Start with every 7 days. Make sure Rule 3 is part of it. So if Rule 3 is part of your 7-day target, that means 4 presentations a week. Simple. But don't sit down and sing Kumbaya. Go out there and achieve your weekly targets. Because a combination of weekly targets means you become financially free. And make sure you monitor your leaders. Make sure they monitor their downlines. Make sure they monitor their downlines on the weekly targets. So guys, please take this message very seriously. Every 7 days counts. Every 7 days is the most important 7 days in your networking career. Every week can make a big difference. Every target, no matter this small or this big, is important for you to achieve it. Are you with me? Please nod your head and say yes. Alright? It's a very simple message which a lot of people take for granted. Alright? So please, go back out there, go back to your leaders, go back to your network and implement this. Have a proper system of monitoring. Go back to your upline and ask them, I want to have a target this week. I can't wait next month. I want something this week. I want to achieve this week. Alright? And if you implement this effectively in your network, you will see a drastic difference in the results you produce in our most amazing industry called network marketing. Remember, every 7 day counts.